Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. Let's see. Let me say hello to you guys. What's my comments? There we go. Hey Tony. Hey Kate. Hello Jenna. B Crumbs. Hey Nadie. Foxy. Hello MK. J Lord. Clicker. Lunch Lady. Thank you guys for being here. Hey Adrian. Jan. Pointer Lover. Sexy Wild Thing. Carol Freaking Claus. I think I don't want to. I know I'm going to double up and say hello twice. It's a thing here. Hello, all you guys, and everybody I missed as well. Thank you guys for being here. So today's live wasn't planned. Tomorrow I have a show I'm going to do with ATS News on the new recordings that have been released, or I hadn't heard them before, of Chris Watts and his family. And it's from his time at Weld County Jail. Today we had a football game, and yesterday we had a football game. Well, tonight Trenton isn't playing, so I'm here with you guys so Bentley could get some rest. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to do that. Also, we have a lot of Letitia stuff that we're working on, also getting more files and videos. I cannot wait for you guys to see. So that's going to continue. And I'm doing a new thing now on my second channel. So I've been wanting to utilize the channel anyways. And I have this like hobby where I go and on Instagram and I look at like all these new snack releases and all this food stuff. So I'm going to incorporate that somehow into like just hanging out and laid back labs. But also I wanted to start reviewing like other YouTuber brands. So the first one is actually going to be Dolly Vision. I know there's been a lot of talk about his soap. You know, he's recently released candles, and I ordered a bar of soap, some lotion, and a candle. So we're going to go through some of that stuff. And then next I want to do, I know Chasing Truth has candles that she's releasing that are beautiful. I want to get some of those. We have Life Perplexed brand. I'm going to start in the smaller true crime community and then work my way out. So if you guys have any brands, YouTuber brands that you would like me to try, also I'm going to feature Nay in one too, because I'm planning to order from her in like a week or two. So yeah, I've been in the Pinterest rabbit hole. Y'all should see my Instagram. I'm telling you. Yes, I got some Dolly soap in the mail yesterday from him as a prize. Ooh, that's cool. I love reviews. Well, I can't wait. I actually have the package right here. I have to send out the giveaway winners prize yesterday. Hey, Rachel, I'm sorry you don't feel good. I hope you feel better. Hey, Panda Bacon, I love your name. Make sure I don't miss anything. So I actually got my package from Dolly Vision yesterday. It's right here. We're not going to go through it right now. We're going to get into true crime news, but it's like heavily wrapped with like a lot of envelopes. It was like envelope after envelope. But you know what? If my candle's not broken, then I'm happy about it. And the candle does smell good. So yeah, I cannot wait to go through that with you guys. Let me just set that over there and I'll deal with it later. So another thing before we get started, one last little housekeeping thing. We're doing a meme contest, Letitia Stalk meme contest. I know that some people are not thrilled with that, and that's okay. But it is something that I'm going to do. I want to do with you guys. I want to give the winner an Amazon gift card. You have a week to turn in your meme. And if you're not a member, let me go ahead and show you a couple examples that I posted in the members only. Oh no, I don't know if it will let me on the computer. Just a second. I'm sorry, you guys. So it won't let me expand it so you can see the full thing, but this is like a little idea. Woofy did this one, and it shows her newest Google searches, which if you guys know, she's claimed she has a boyfriend and all that. So I thought that was really funny. And then with Jen did this one of Samara. It says, what's my favorite position, because of that call where that happens. So yeah, I can't wait to do that with you guys. So yeah, welcome, Clicker. Thank you for joining. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and jump into true crime news. There are lots of, I want to talk about Kaitlyn Armstrong, but I think we're going to skip past this at first and go to it at the end. She recently tried to escape. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with her case, but Kaitlyn Armstrong killed another woman who was, it was a love triangle situation. I'm not super familiar with it. I have watched some about it and read some about it. But I know that when she was on the run, it took a long time for them to find her, and she tried to escape again over the last couple of days. We're going to watch the video of that and talk about that some. Oh, thank you, Maria. Also, yes, dang it. I wish, can you put your Etsy store in here? Maria sent me this wonderful shirt. I love it. I wear it all the time. From her Etsy store, Coffee and True Crime. I can pin it later. I can come back and pin it later. But you guys got to check out her Etsy store. It is wonderful, and good to see you, and thank you. About spit out my Diet Coke when I saw both those memes. I know, me too. Oh, welcome, Missy Lee. Well, you guys want to check out the members tab if you're joining. I'm not going to advertise what's over there, but yeah. I love this shirt, K-Braze. Very, very cute. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. It's 3 Roses Goods. Okay, just a second. Let me pin this at the top of the chat so that it will stay. If anybody is interested, check her out on Etsy. There's a lot of cute stuff over there. There we go. Thank you, Maria. I love it. I wear it all the time. It's a staple now. Okay. Hey, Woofy. Jojo, good to see you. Okay. So we're going to talk about Kaitlyn Armstrong in a minute. Because we're going to watch some videos and stuff. We're also going to talk about Chad Daybell. But, I was cruising along and I saw too many cases that I wanted to talk about and look at with you guys for us not to do a true crime news today. So, hey, Katrina. Okay, so we're going to go past this one. Now, also, if you're following the Idaho trial or case, which I know many of you are, Melissa J did an amazing live today. I'm not going to get into that. There's not many people covering Idaho that I will actually watch. There is a lot of BS going on, but Melissa, Amber, Crime Sleuthin sometimes does videos, but like the live streams, Melissa and Amber mainly are the only ones that I'm watching. So you definitely want to check that out. Okay. So we're going to start here. You guys know these true crime news are quite graphic. I'm not going to use little words to cover up what the actual words are. I don't like to do that. So just so you guys know, I actually don't even like doing trigger warnings. It's a true crime channel. I think that when you enter one, you should just be aware that you're going to hear that kind of stuff. But for new people or super sensitive people, I will say trigger warning. Hey, Tiff, good to see you. Okay, so mom murdered 9-month-old daughter found lifeless in bedroom. A Virginia woman was arrested Wednesday, more than a week after her 9-month-old daughter was found dead in a home. Richmond Police's Public Affairs Director, James Mercante, told WTVR that cops responded to the residence on October 2nd and found the infant with obvious signs of trauma in a bedroom. The girl later died at the hospital, and her mother, Brianna Green, 29, was charged with first-degree murder. Despite Green's arrest, the girl's cause and manner of death are pending, but sources said police expedited their case against Green to prosecutors, resulting in a grand jury returning a murder indictment. That's quite interesting. Let me see if we click on her name, if it will take us to get a little bit more information. Officers were called to the 1200 block of Hickory Street for the report of a person down around 4:30 in the morning. What? Officers arrived and located an unresponsive child in the bedroom of the residence. The child had obvious signs of trauma and was transported to a local hospital, where later that morning she succumbed to her injuries. Officials said the medical examiner will determine the girl's exact cause and manner of death. Police said 29-year-old Brianna Green of Richmond was charged with first-degree murder and indicted by a grand jury. They decided to make the charges and start it in circuit court and skip preliminary hearings by doing so. In this scenario, a special grand jury is already meeting, so they presented the case and there was a direct indictment. She now awaits a bond hearing while she's being held at Richmond City Justice Center. This is not too far from me. So we're going to keep going through some other cases. That's all that's out about that right now, but I definitely want to keep an eye on it. There are a lot of them today that are just disturbing, and yeah. So here we have a daycare incident. Oh, let me see. Oh, thank you, sexy wild thing, Carol freaking Claus. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Anybody who wants to send a little extra love her way, though, definitely do so. She lost, she's going through a loss. That's tough. So thank you, Claus. Okay. I haven't seen anything, J-Lord. Oh, no, I feel the anger rising already. Nay. Yes. Like, that's what makes, it's frustrating because I'll be looking. Today I was looking and I was like, should I grab a few stories? Should we talk about Kaitlyn Armstrong, Chad Daybell? There's Letitia stuff in the works. And the next thing with that I want to do is like a trial overview with all the files and pictures we have. But I want that to be a fundraiser because more people are showing up to those. And I think that would just be the best one to do. So I started looking and I just see all these stories that are just like, oh my God, number one, what the fuck? And number two, why are you not hearing about these? And, hey, gamer mom. So that is what brought us here to talk about these today. Daycare provider learns fate after 4-month-old baby dies face down in vomit while in her care. Look at that baby. Oh my God almighty. A former Georgia daycare provider was sentenced Friday in connection with the 2022, possibly, death of an infant at Dunwoody Child Care Center. So Amanda Hickey, who owned the Little Lovey Daycare in Dunwoody, will spend 30 years in prison for the death of a 4-month-old Charlie Arison Cronmiller following a murder conviction. Hickey took an Alford plea in September to murder and cruelty to children charges. The Alford plea allowed her to maintain her innocence while still holding accountability for her actions. The Alford plea is just, oh my gosh. Let me give you guys the exact definition of that because it's like, I'm guilty, but I'm not guilty. I'm guilty, but I'm not admitting to guilt. It is a guilty plea in which a defendant maintains their innocence, but admits that the prosecution's evidence would likely result in a guilty verdict if brought to trial. So she did an Alford plea. She put the infant face down to take a nap on February 3rd, 2021 at the daycare, so 2021. Then for 2 hours, she failed to check on him, leading to his death. She claimed she put him on his back as mandated by state law, but security footage found a different story. She placed him in the pack and play at 1:05 and did not check on him until 3:45 when he was found unresponsive. She told the detective she put him on his back in the pack and play. She stated he must have rolled over. She stated she was trained to put children face up. Then video footage shows her putting him in face down. He does crawl a bit, but stopped around 1:45. He is 4 months old. At 4 months old, they're hardly holding their, holding their head up. Here, I'm going to play this just for a second.
And we appreciate your company here on Friday the 13th. I'm Joe Ripley. This afternoon, we have new details in the murder case against a former DeKalb County daycare owner. Less than an hour ago, Amanda Hickey was sentenced to 35 years in prison. She was convicted in the death of a 4-month-old baby boy back in 2021. Investigators say he was put down for a nap on his stomach against the medical recommendation for his age. Video showed the child was left unsupervised for more than 2 hours before he was finally found. The DeKalb County grand jury returned a 20-count indictment last year. The charges, including second-degree murder, cruelty to children, and other charges.
Well, you know what? She deserves it. She tried to lie about it, and not only that, if it's state law to put them on their back, that's bullshit. I am sick and tired of seeing people take these jobs to take care of our babies and do this shit. See, now, y'all, I get mad over these. I'm sorry, but it's just frustrating. And thank you, Knock and Scratch Wolfie. That was so sweet. Thank you. Hey, Stephanie, I just recently found you and I've been watching all your stuff. Love, love, love your channel, as well as Jen and Crime Curious. Y'all are great. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm glad you're here. Unbelievable. Absolutely. Hey, Candace, it just makes you angry. Okay. So let's continue. I was going to click on and go a little deeper. I think we're just going to keep going. There's several I want to talk about. So this is another one. And here we go. I mean, you tell me why certain cases are all over the place. I can't stop saying it. I'm sorry. I know I say this to y'all all the damn time, but it's frustrating. It is so beyond frustrating, but whatever. Hey, Neat Noodle. My kids never saw a daycare in their life. Jesse, my oldest, went to a preschool, but I was 18 when I had him. My parents were basically like the dad, and they helped so much, and I just wasn't in a great place. My second child, though, did not. He stayed with me until kindergarten because I wanted every last second with him. Oh, is a dose of reality in here? Hello, Jen. Okay, so here we go, you guys. A malnourished 12-year-old boy decomposing in home has been dead for at least a week. A 12-year-old boy was found dead in a Wisconsin home on Tuesday in what is being investigated as a homicide. Jackery Robinson's body was discovered in a Milwaukee home, with medical examiners describing him as malnourished and decomposing. Robinson's sister told WISN that authorities believe he had been dead for more than a week. Meanwhile, Robinson's uncle revealed to the Journal Sentinel that the 12-year-old was living with his father and two sisters in the home where he was found. His aunt alleged that they have not heard from his father since the body was discovered. He's not answering anyone's calls, she said. Imagine that. Imagine that. They did complete an autopsy. They've not revealed the cause of death, and no arrests have been made. Now, I'm sorry, this one, I'm heated over this. And no wonder. Well, we can't read that. I'm not going to pay for it. I oftentimes will, but we're just going to try to find it from another source. It's now considered a homicide, the suspicious death of this little boy. He loved wrestling. Oh, my God. He loved Marvel toys, Marvel movies. Any movie that had action in it. He really loved it. His older sister, Annalise Moy, said. Milwaukee police called his death suspicious. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office described his condition as malnourished and decomposing. All they can say is he was found in the house, and he's been deceased probably over a week. He was the youngest of 10 siblings. Moy, the person doing the interview, did not live with him and hadn't seen him in several months, but she said he and two other siblings lived in the home with their dad. One neighbor, who did not want to be identified, thought the home was abandoned. I didn't think no one stayed there. And if it was, I thought it was someone elderly that couldn't get out and tend to their lawn and stuff like that. I really didn't think no one stayed there, the neighbor said. The home is now boarded up as Jackery's family tries to piece together what happened. Family is all we've got right now, so we're really just trying to hold on together for each other and hopefully get justice for him. They have not made any arrests, and the cause of death has not been listed. This is bullshit. And this is what pisses me off. His was found deceased, malnourished, been dead for a week, and his dad is nowhere to be found and ain't answering the damn phone. Why isn't, that's bullshit. And his face should be over every single news site that reports on things like this. It's sad. I know, Little Red Riding Hood, but it's hard. I do have my phone, Wolfie. I had to send my to daycare. Some people do, Foxy. And that's just that. And you got to do what you got to do. 3 jobs. I mean, come on. You were doing everything you could, obviously. So. I know, Little Red Riding Hood. Lock his ass up. Disgusting. Hey, Amber. Oh, okay, Kate. Thank you. If you need to lift the mood, welcome to show those videos I sent. Thank you, Kate. Oh, I'm going to show them when we do our, live. It is sad, Jen. And what's even more sad is you have this little child and his own parents aren't being a voice for him. And, the story isn't this big mysterious story that's going to grab everyone's attention. It's unfortunate, but this is the truth. A lot of these cases are just simply too boring for people to pay attention to. And I don't think, not boring in my opinion, I'm just saying this is the truth. And it ain't right. It is not right. Excuse my language, but it is not right. It's not. It frustrates me so much. I did, Jen. You missed it. I've already showed it. I showed your meme and Wolfie's at the beginning when I did a little housekeeping moment. And also for anybody who came in late, at the top, there's a comment tagged, and the sun's starting to go down. I don't have my lighting. But I was sharing about this shirt that one of you guys sent to me, and that's her Etsy store in the comments at the top pinned. So definitely go check it out. It's great. Hey, Christina. Yeah, I showed Wolfie. I showed yours and Bendy's. Children are hard work. Thank you, Wolfie. All right, let's keep going. We got a few stories to get through today, so I'll just continue. But, it just makes you sad. Okay. We're going to look at these 2 missing women as well, because I have not seen anything about them at all, actually. Let me know if you guys have. Let me know if you've seen any of these cases that I'm showing. Let me know if it's from your area and you haven't heard about it. I get that a lot. People will be like, oh my God, this is right down the road from me, and I hadn't heard about it. So this is a missing Missouri mother. Her name's Whitney Stark. She was last seen Thursday around 5:30. She was in the 1800 block of Santa Blas Walk Lane. Family members reported her missing at 6:45. Her mother and daughter told police she was last seen at her home with friends. It's unclear what clothing she was wearing. She's a black female, 5'3", 200 pounds, blonde and black hair and brown eyes. If you see her or you have any information, call 911 in Missouri. And let's look at this other one as well. Missing California woman's vehicle found with 2 flat tires in Arizona National Forest. Arizona police are looking for a 32-year-old woman who disappeared after starting a cross-country trip from California to Connecticut. Chelsea Grimm was last seen September 28th, about 35 miles west of Flagstaff. On October 5th, hunters found her abandoned vehicle on a Forest Service road northeast of Ash Fork in the Kaibab National Forest. A national forest disappearance. If the public has any information, please contact the Sheriff's Office, Coconino Sheriff's Office, 928-774-4523. She has a bearded dragon named Roz or Roxy. Let's look at this quickly, just because it shows her the last thing she was wearing. So they found her vehicle. That was suspicious to them. Here she is. Her name's Chelsea Graham. National Forest, which is, adds another layer of what in the hell is going on here. Wow, look at that guy. Oh, she's smoking American Spirits, which are organic cigarettes with no additives. But I tried smoking those, and I would buy those tar filled, like the little tar bars, and they would fill one of those up way quicker than a regular cigarette. They have a lot of nicotine and tar because they are real natural tobacco without the additives. They're not paper soaked in tobacco juice, which is what's in your cigarettes, by the way. It's just paper that's soaked in tobacco juice and made to look like tobacco. But again, 32 years old, she was on a cross-country trip from California to Connecticut in Arizona, the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. So I got a job in education, so I didn't need childcare as kids were school age and worked in a chippy at night, and they came with me as I was a single mother. I got lucky. My next door neighbor at the time did in-home daycare and loved my son to death. So I took him there every day while I worked, and she barely wanted him to go when I got home. Yeah, you definitely got lucky. Hey, Melissa Jade. We were just talking about you. Oh, thank you, Claus. Melissa Jade did an excellent live earlier, and on Idaho. I'm not going to get into it. Go over there and watch it. It's really interesting. There has been some stuff released about Dylan the night of the murders. Welcome, Queen of Hearts. Thank you for rejoining. Hey, Connie. Okay, let's keep going. This is a national forest disappearance, though, Melissa. By the way, I know you kind of are into some of that stuff. Now we're going to get into Chad Daybell just for a minute. I find this really interesting, because we've had Lori Vallow Daybell, who doesn't want cameras in the courtroom because they zoom in on her and show her facial expressions and talk about what she's wearing. And then we have Koberger, who doesn't want cameras in the courtroom for the same reason. People are zooming in on his crotch and all the things. Then we have Richard Allen, who's like, no, we want all of this to be witnessed. Please bring cameras in the courtroom. Now, think about that. And Chad Daybell feels the same way, which is pretty interesting. Amber has a new emoji of Chad Daybell with beside the Family Guy dude. Jessie Lynn, that's interesting. A lot of people think that. I kind of think they do, but I love the different opinions. Oh my gosh, Rebecca. My email's on the screen on that little orange banner. I don't see how they get a choice. The victims didn't get a choice. Well, I don't see how there's an argument. Ow, I hit my funny bone. Oh. I don't see how there's an argument that there won't be a fair trial, because by the time you're in trial, the jury's already seated. I could see not having cameras at some of the hearings. The funky thing is they'll bring cameras into these little hearings, and then, they want them gone from trial. I'm okay, Jessie Lynn, but it hurts like hell. Thank you for asking. Thank you, KK. You guys are so sweet. Oh, Lisa, I can't wait for you guys to see them either. And I can't wait for more people to make some. Come on, Ad, get off the screen. Okay. Chad Daybell wants cameras allowed in court for his murder trial. The judge and attorneys involved in Chad Daybell's upcoming murder trial have set a November 29th date for a hearing on whether to allow cameras in the courtroom. Oh my God, I hope they do. 7th District Judge Stephen Boyce previously barred cameras for the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell, Daybell's wife, who was charged and convicted on the same charges as her husband, conspiracy to murder and conspiracy in the deaths of 2 of her children, 7-year-old JJ and 16-year-old Tylee, also Tammy Daybell. Now, I just have to pause for a minute to say, the evidence is going to be somewhat the same, but number one, seeing it versus hearing it will be much different. And number two, it's not going to be all the same, because in Lori's trial, they used, like, for instance, Lori and Melanie's text against Lori. And, you know, sure, they could show those again, but it's going to be different. This is going to be about what Chad did. Let me look, Wolfie, I'm sorry. Oh my God, Wolfie, you're crazy. Okay, so Vallow Daybell was sentenced, so Lori, to 3 life sentences earlier this year. The husband and wife were initially to be tried together, but Chad waived his right to a speedy trial and Lori did not. And Boyce severed the 2 cases. Vallow Daybell's attorneys vehemently opposed cameras in the courtroom. Earlier, Daybell's attorneys filed motion requesting that cameras be allowed, and the sides hammered out a date to hear arguments during a video conference on Tuesday. Let me tell you what, this is going to be an interesting hearing, watching them argue why they want cameras. Defense has concerns that the lack of public access to the trial would cause financial hardship to members of families, limit the parties' family access, limit the public from adequate access to what is a trial of great interest to the public, Attorney John Pryor wrote in his September 29th motion. Pryor said during Tuesday's conference that reporters were already calling him about access. "It's not my job to represent the media out there," he told the judge. "I think at this point, given the fact this case is going to trial, I expect the media to now jump all over the court's inquiry. We'd better have a hearing. Mr. Daybell has not changed his position. He still maintains his feeling of having a public hearing." Prosecutors told Boyce they still oppose the move. Why? Why? "At this juncture, the state will be maintaining the same position," Lindsay Blake said. The Daybell saga began with the disappearance of Tylee and JJ and the death of Tammy, and soon stretched back in time to the death of Vallow Daybell's 4th husband, Charles Vallow, who was shot to death by her brother weeks before the kids vanished and Tammy passed away. He also faces a conspiracy charge in the death of Charles Vallow. So it's going to be really interesting. What do you guys think? And how do you feel about him wanting cameras? I think that, you know, like I said, Lori Vallow Daybell doesn't want cameras. Brian Kober doesn't want cameras. Richard Allen, who wants to make sure we see all the things against him and what's exactly going on, he wants cameras, you know? Let me pull up this little video about Lori and Chad really quick. It's just a minute long. We're going to watch this, and then we're going to get into a couple other things. And I got to go.
Lori Vallow Daybell, the mother, found guilty of murdering her children. Well, Vallow Daybell now has a new attorney. She's currently in jail in Pocatello. East Idaho News saying that Vallow Daybell's new attorney filed an amended appeal yesterday. That appeal asking the Idaho Supreme Court to take a look at more than a dozen issues within her case, questioning if the judge made an error in finding Vallow Daybell mentally competent for trial after spending 10 months in a mental hospital. The appeal also questioning evidence presented during the trial, the sentencing, and in other instances. The new attorney asking for all mental health records of Vallow Daybell. The process expected to take several years and really could go to the Supreme Court and possibly result in another trial for Lori.
Now to an update on Lori Vallow Daybell's husband, Chad Daybell, and his upcoming trial. Daybell is charged with the murder in the death of his first wife, Tammy Daybell, and in the deaths of Lori Vallow Daybell's children. Now, Chad Daybell's status conference is scheduled for next Tuesday. His trial is planned for April 1st in Ada County, Idaho. East Idaho News reports that the judge will hear about the status of the case from Chad's attorney and where the case stands to make sure things are in order ahead of the trial coming in April. These status conference hearings will likely continue every month, they say, leading up to jury selection and to.
All right, let me see what you guys have to say before we move on to the next one. Shocking how much prison aged her. Oh, absolutely. She has aged a lot in a very little time. And we saw that with Barry Morphew, which I should add AK to my Nightbot, but AK Rocks has done phenomenal coverage on Suzanne for years. Whether it was popular or not, that was, he was knee deep in it trying to get the answers. He has a live tonight at 7. Maybe one of the mods can get that link for me on Suzanne Morphew. He's doing, if you're interested in that case, you have to check him out. And I've also shared him on my community tab. Another thing, tonight at 8:45, Amber has a live on Delphi, so you don't want to miss that either. Hey, Becky. Happy Friday 13th. Leah, I think it was Lori's attorneys that didn't want cameras. I think Lori loved cameras, and that was the problem. Well, I think she loved them, but open my soda. She didn't love all the criticism about her looks, her makeup, her clothes, all that stuff. Exactly, Clicker. The Botox and all the things. Yeah. I think Lori was the driving force behind the M of all those people. Chad was only married once. Chad's kids are all still alive. She was the catalyst behind all of it. It's going to be very interesting. Imagine this. It's very possible he could go to trial and be found not guilty. He could be found not guilty of some of them, guilty of others. We just truly don't know. No, she didn't, Shay Bonet. By the way, good to see you. Chad looks like an ex I had, and he was a sociopath. So anyone that looks like is a sociopath, in my opinion, and sticking to it. Oh, thank you, Wolfie. You are the best. I'm really looking forward to the next few days. This live with Amber tomorrow is going to be really interesting. I'm back into the Watts case. Then the things with Letitia that we have planned and coming out. Oh my gosh, I think you guys are going to love it. So her kids were in his yard. I bet he will say it was Alex, who of course is dead. Will he testify? Wolfie Pop's caller. Hey, Leslie. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. This is just a laid back all the things live. We are talking about lots of different cases, which, by the way, you guys, I've been telling you I wanted to build a website. I'm about to start working on it. I want to have a place where I can write it's almost going to be like a community tab, but better, because I'll be able to write brief descriptions. I'm going to put all of my friends, when they have videos, I'm going to go check out this video about, and give a brief description. I want it to be like a Crime Online, but different, with videos and posts and other articles from other websites of crimes all over, the popular ones, the unpopular ones, all of them. And I'm going to work on it several hours a day, every day, to make sure that as many as possible can get uploaded to it. So I am really excited for that. But okay, let's keep going. Let's do it. I'm serious. I was talking to Curious Jen about it. She was telling me where to go to build the website, to make the URL, all that stuff. I really think we could do something really cool. I would love your guys' help, Shay. Okay. So back to Crime Online. Let's go see what else we can find. Oh my goodness. Okay. Morgan Bauer, disturbing details of alleged necrophilia dismemberment revealed in missing teens' presumed death. I have not heard of this. I did not actually even see it today when I was doing reading for this live, finding stuff to make sure there was enough that we wanted to talk about. He isn't innocent at all, in my opinion. He is the one who labeled people light and dark. He and Lori were planning a wedding before his wife was murdered. I agree, Leslie. I don't give any of them a pass. I think they all knew exactly what was going on, and they all need to be charged for it. Have never heard of this. Oh, my God. Okay. Nay. Suspects in connection with the disappearance and presumed death of 19-year-old Morgan Bauer were indicted Wednesday by a grand jury in Georgia. The Rockdale Citizen reports that a Newton County grand jury indicted Jonathan Alexander Warren and Kaitlyn Gobble in connection with Bauer's death. Bauer has never been found. Okay, let's see. As Crime Online previously reported, Warren was taken into custody in Los Angeles in August. He faces charges of murder, aggravated assault, concealing death, all felonies. Also, a misdemeanor charge of tampering with evidence. Goebel was arrested in Illinois on felony charges, concealing death, and tampering evidence. She's also facing a murder charge in connection with the teen's death. So let's hear about this. Ooh, from 2016. Okay, so the charges came as part of an investigation into the disappearance of Bauer, who was last seen February 25th, 2016, leaving an adult entertainment club in Gainesville, Georgia, where she worked as a dancer. Investigators in late July searched a residence in Porterdale, about 80 miles away from Gainesville, looking for evidence linked to the case. The search was prompted after the discovery of new evidence. Wow. And here they are, the girl and the dude that's been accused of this and been arrested recently for this old disappearance. She's a beautiful young girl, full of life, and both of them just look like complete blah. Just, ugh. Tim, here, I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. Hi, by the way. Amber has an awesome channel. Okay, so according to Law and Crime, prosecutors allege both defendants murdered Bauer by strangulation, the basis for the felony murder charge, by wrapping, quote, their hands around her neck, unquote. Authorities say after the killing, the suspects dismembered and burned Bauer to conceal evidence of the murder. The mutilation allegedly aimed to prevent the discovery of her remains. Court documents indicate that Warren is also facing a necrophilia charge. We're going to look at those documents. Georgia law indicates that someone, quote, commits the offense of necrophilia, unquote, when performing, quote, any sexual act with a dead human body involving the sex organs of the one and the mouth, anus, penis, or vagina, or the of the other, unquote. Oh my goodness. Both defendants are at Newton County Jail. Let's look at his court documents. Oh my goodness. Someone has had to have spoken out, right? Well, they took those down. Let me go look at this. Shocking details emerge as arrested suspects in 2016 disappearance and death face indictments. Wow, what a beautiful young girl. What a shame. What happened? Okay. I don't know what happened, you guys. The two suspects in the 2016 disappearance and death of Atlanta, Georgia 19-year-old Morgan Bauer have now been indicted for murder, and it's alleged that the victim was strangled to death, cut up, burned, and violated after she was killed. The arrest of Jonathan Warren and Kaitlyn Gobble in California and Illinois were announced back in August, more than 7 years after she was last seen alive, just days after she moved from South Dakota with $20 to her name. Let's see. Jonathan Alexander Warren and Kaitlyn Gobble are now both in Newton County, Georgia, and held without bond, her mother said in a Facebook post. Let's look at this. She and family members are going through a devastating time. Ooh. Shay, thank you. We're going to look at something Shay sent in just a moment, but oops, okay. Hello, I want to share updates with everyone and take the opportunity to thank you all for being here. This was a missing Morgan group. I do want to say that this is difficult to share, and I want to apologize in advance for some words you may hear today. Alex and Kaitlyn are now both in Newton County, Georgia, and being held without bond. I can't express the gratitude knowing they are in protective custody in Georgia. The grand jury met last week and indicted both of them on new charges. With permission, they are as follows: malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, tampering with evidence, concealing the death of another, and Jonathan has the added charge of necrophilia. Please know I understand the weight of what I've just said. I am so sorry. My heart breaks for all of you, especially those close to Morgan. I am praying for you. Please understand that everything I am sharing to this group is now done with the help of the DA's office and law enforcement. What I can say is that myself and our families are going through a devastating time. Please be patient with us and understand we can't share any more information as this is an ongoing investigation. Believe me when I tell you, everyone is doing all they can to see that Morgan gets the justice she deserves. I want to thank you all for being here and supporting Morgan Bauer. You don't know how much it means to us knowing you care for her so deeply. Thank you for your prayers, loving thoughts, and your patience. We appreciate you more than you know. Look at her as a baby. Oh my God, how precious. Shay, we will absolutely look at it in just a second. Oh my goodness. That is freaking horrible. I'm glad they're finally charged. So anyways, you guys are welcome to go join this group. Matter of fact, I will grab the link and put it in the chat for anybody who's interested in following this on the way out. Okay, now let's go back here for a moment because I need to get these things that Shay sent to show you guys. So okay, there is a media briefing. This is a young lady found in West Austin fire and burned alive. Okay. Just one second, you guys. I'm just grabbing a couple things. Okay, so search warrant. Police believe woman found in West Austin fire burned alive. My God almighty. What is wrong with people, you guys? Lisa, the last one we talked about was those two people. This one, I don't know. We're about to find out. The last one, Morgan Bauer, it was Jonathan Warren and Kaitlyn Gobble were the two people charged and arrested for her murder. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for being a member for 5 months, and I appreciate you being here. Okay, so police believe a woman firefighters found dead in the Northwest Hills area of West Austin last month was burned alive, according to a search warrant issued by the Austin Police Department. So her name is Melissa Davis. She was 33 years old. Same age as me. You know, let's watch the video for a second. Y'all probably get tired of hearing me read anyways.
It is creepy.
Already troubling story unfolding in Northwest Hills. Police now believe the woman found dead last week when firefighters were putting out a grass fire was burned alive. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Britt Moreno.
And I'm Jennifer Sanders. KXAN's Brianna Hollis shows us where this crime happened and shares some new details in the case.
The spot where this happened is out in the open on Mesa Drive. It still smells like smoke, and you can see the charred fence, the charred ground, even some of the leaves are still black. As you can imagine, people in this neighborhood already disturbed to begin with, and now even more disturbed by the new details.
Oh my God.
Feet away from a busy West Austin road, a scorched crime scene.
It is creepy. I can't wait till it grows over. It's a sad reminder what happened.
When AFD responded to a fire here last week, they found a burned body, and police started to investigate this as a homicide. APD identified the victim as 33-year-old Melissa Davis. According to a search warrant for her cell phone.
I just want to say, what a way what a cruel way. Murder is cruel, period, but what a cruel way to do it. It does look so out in the open. I mean, the fence was charred and everything. Oh, thank you, Corey. Oh my God, you guys. It reminds of Debbie Collier.
Data. Davis left her mother's home in the Circle C area the day before the fire, saying she had to go to the Apple store to get her phone fixed. The warrant also states medical examiners determined Davis was burned alive and there was no other trauma to her body.
Well, that's just awful. That's just a horrible thing to do to somebody else.
Police also say they found a lighter nearby and a police canine detected gas or diesel in the area. Investigators hope the phone data they're seeking leads them to a suspect.
Just very disturbed, and I hope their family finds peace.
Brianna Hollis, KXAN News.
And of course, KXAN is tracking.
Are they? Okay, so this is about the warrant. Let me just see if they have put the warrant out. No obvious trauma to the body. What? But they did find physical evidence the victim was alive when her body was being burned. I wish they linked the search warrant, but they have not on this one. Let's go to the other article she sent. There's a couple. So, woman found burned to death with butcher knife nearby as police search for her missing car with no obvious signs of trauma. And why is this not all over the news, you guys? Why? It's just frustrating. Hey, Brandywine. K-Bird, that's who they're talking about, Debbie Collier. I think that they claim it was an act, that it was not murder. Texas police are looking for answers surrounding the death of a woman whose body was found burned by the side of a road in an upscale Austin neighborhood. This detective discovered a lighter in the area. A police canine was called to the scene and found a butcher knife, which had the scent of a lighter. Austin police believe the knife was placed with the decedent in an attempt to destroy the evidence with the fire. However, an autopsy showed Davis suffered no signs of obvious trauma to her body or knife wounds and concluded she had been burned alive. And there she is. Oh my goodness. They did put out a notice for her missing car at one time. There she is with her puppy, 33 years old, 1 year younger than me. Police have yet to identify a suspect. Elle Simmons, who described Davis as a soul sister, said her friend was a free spirit who enjoyed traveling with company. We actually had dreams together with one of our other friends to start a hostel in Costa Rica, and we would have an art station. She loved art. Another close friend, David Hasman, said he was still in disbelief over her death, adding she had left him with a painting of a bird flying towards the sun before her death. I still feel like my heart is breaking, like I'm being stabbed, like I've been stabbed and I'm bleeding out slowly, he told the local outlet. Austin police did not comment, but the investigation remains ongoing, and there is currently a $1,000 reward available. Let's see what else Shay sent. This is what Austin police put out. They're searching when they were searching for her vehicle. On Friday, September 29th, Austin Fire Department responded to reports of a grass fire on Mesa Drive. Upon arrival, the fire department located a deceased person with trauma to the body. This is the 47th homicide investigation in 2023 in Austin alone. If you have any information, you can contact Austin Crime Stoppers. There is a $1,000 reward. Now, this is interesting, Shay. Thank you for sending this. A strong odor of accelerant. They said the canine dug up a butcher knife. That's an interesting way to say that. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. And then Law and Crime also covered it, and she sent that as well.
Investigators in Texas now scrambling for answers after they say Melissa Davis was burned alive. The 33-year-old's remains were found along the road in Austin with a butcher knife nearby. So far, no arrests have been made.
One would assume that they're going in a million different directions. I think the first thing they're doing is an autopsy on the body to make a determination as to the cause of death. They're going to be have crime scene investigators sift through every single part of the area where she was found to see if there's any evidence. We know they found a knife, but is there any other evidence, DNA, hair fibers, anything that can link or explain what happened to this woman?
Oh my God. Meta Mom, I actually just cracked my phone too. It's a Samsung Galaxy 23 Ultra, and I barely cracked the edge of it. And I'm mad because I'm still paying on it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to put a screen protector on to keep it from breaking anymore, because the screens for these are not cheap.
Law and crime legal analyst Julie Rendelman says officials are still in the early stages of the investigation without a publicly named suspect. She says they will likely begin by speaking to those who knew Davis best.
Anytime an individual is found in the horrific circumstances.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to continue on True Crime News, because I have a couple other things I want to show you. This attempted escape from Kaitlyn Armstrong. But this Law and Crime video is quite long. It's about 10 minutes long, just under. No, Music City Mom, I should have, but I was being cheap and didn't pay for insurance. I was like, I won't break it. I'll take care of it. No, she didn't do this herself. No way. Hey, Todd. Oh, that's all right, Little Red Riding Hood. I appreciate that, but that's okay. I wouldn't do that to you guys. I get an OtterBox screen protector in case I need to. Oh, thank you, B Crumbs. I thought about like how hard it is. Like my dad could probably help me do it ourselves if we got one. But I'm going to keep my eyes on this case out of Texas, you guys. I'm Melissa Davis. I'm going to keep my eyes on the Kaitlyn Bauer one. These are some interesting cases that just are not really being discussed too much. So I think that if I had a website. Oh, here's a new story put on here since we've left. Mom was stabbed and asphyxiated before police found her dead in lake with husband. Also not seeing this one. This just makes me want to do my website even more. The more that we run across these cases that we really haven't seen before. Little Red Riding Hood, that was very sweet. Her vehicle is still missing. Oh, thank you, Shay. I didn't like take that in watching that, so thank you. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for everything. Okay. An Oklahoma woman who was found dead in July in a lake alongside her ex-husband was asphyxiated and stabbed, according to a recently released medical examiner's report. The bodies of Candace Kehoe and George Kehoe, 26 and 27, these are young people, were discovered in Claremore Lake a day after the woman's car was found at her ex-husband's home. Investigators previously said that George died of a single self-inflicted gunshot wound, but KOKI reported that his ex-wife's death was a homicide. According to the news outlets, they were in a custody battle at the time. Oh, wait, so you're fighting over who's going to take care of your kids? So one of you just decides to take your life and take her out too. What the hell? No. So where's the kids now? Oh my God, what a selfish asshole thing to do. By the way, they finally formally charged that teacher that shoved that autistic 3-year-old down. Good. Oh, that's the one we saw on video during a true crime news. You guys, some of the cases that we've run across are just so disturbing. Thank you, MK, for letting me know that. MK rocks. Well, yeah, always send me anything, Meta Mom. I really appreciate it when you guys do, especially because I want to work on this project of like building this website with all the cases. I want cases that every case I can find. You know, the popular ones too, but like I really want to make it about sharing information on other ones that's not really being shared. From what I know and what she has told me in the past, he said, let's talk about the girls. Let's talk or something, because her vehicle was found at his house. Her stepmother told KOTV in July. I begged and pleaded with her to just let the courts deal with it. That is unfortunate. Okay, so now we're going to get into some Kaitlyn Armstrong stuff. Kaitlyn Armstrong tried to escape. She is awaiting trial, which is about to start at the end of October, and I think we're going to follow it. So a yoga instructor who fled abroad in 2022 after allegedly shooting a romantic rival recently attempted another escape while being taken into Travis County, Texas medical appointment. Kaitlyn Armstrong stands accused of murdering Anna Mariah Wilson, a 25-year-old. She allegedly tried to escape while being transported to this doctor's appointment. The failed attempt lasted around 10 minutes before officers had her in custody again. As she and 2 corrections officers were exiting the medical building after the appointment, Armstrong ran. The officers pursued her on foot for approximately 10 minutes without ever losing sight of her. It's unclear what Armstrong had to see a doctor about, but police took her to a local hospital to be checked out after they apprehended her. So Armstrong was arrested in 2022 in a Costa Rica hideaway spot she fled to after the death of Wilson, an elite cyclist who reportedly had a romantic relationship with Armstrong's boyfriend, Colin Strickland. Investigators believe she murdered her because she expected she was having an affair with her boyfriend. On the day of Wilson's death, Strickland allegedly lied to Armstrong to conceal that he had gone swimming with Wilson and had dinner with her. He instead claimed he dropped off flowers for someone and then his phone battery died. So her boyfriend goes out to dinner and goes swimming with this young lady. Wilson had been staying at a friend's home in Austin ahead of a bicycle race in Texas when she was murdered. Her friend found her at the home with multiple gunshot wounds. Armstrong managed to flee with the country, allegedly with her sister's passport, but was captured at a yoga surfing retreat town in Costa Rica. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Now I want to show you guys her little escaped attempt. Let me see. We're going to watch Miss Ashley Banfield for this. Just for Woofy, because I have a couple different versions of it. As you guys will see, I've got several videos about her here, but we're going to go with old Banfield. Okay.
So You can see her sprinting along the fence in the video beforehand, and the police officer runs across a parking lot. Make sure we're running the right video. I think that is
Look
the
at
parking lot.
them.
And then afterwards,
What an absolute idiot. This is another Austin, Texas murder case. Bathtub murder trial. I haven't heard of that one, Boo Sheet. I definitely want to follow this chick's trial at least a little bit, because you guys, we have a lot of Letitia stuff coming. We had enough money to purchase one set of things, and then at the end of the month, we decided we're not going to crowdsource the next. We really want to just pay for it ourselves. So we have another batch of things that we've already got prepared to get. We're going to get on the 23rd. Yeah, and there's just a lot coming with that. So I want to be able to do that and other things. Hey, Nika. Her running from that cop. I mean, that is just funny.
along the fence in the video beforehand.
Some Letitia would do.
And the police officer runs across a parking lot. Let's make sure we're running the right video. I think that is the parking lot. And then afterwards, this one's the one where I feel like we need Benny Hill music.
Also, before we watch the next one, I was thinking about purchasing, and I want to know what you guys think. Is it something you'd be interested in? So the way that Letitia's file is for sale, the case of Gabby Petito, the file is also for sale now. It's quite expensive, just like Letitia's, but you can do it in parts. And I think if there is a written case file from all the police reports during the investigation and the search, that would be fascinating to read. If anybody's interested in that, let me know, because I really want to consider doing that. I think that I want to keep going down this little road of getting these files and documents and stuff, because it's just interesting. Oh yeah, we're still going to share it with you. Absolutely. It's still going to go out into the public for you guys, and there's going to be a version of it that is completely without commentary and one with commentary. I appreciate you guys so much, but I think that it is our responsibility as well to do it some. So, Ashley, it's thousands of dollars for the entire file. God, Amber and I just talked about this, and I showed her. I think it was like, if you remember, maybe you can tell me, but like $5,000. But I'm betting that the case file of just written police reports would be a lot less, just similar to Letitia's. Absolutely interested. B Crumbs, I'm interested in getting case files and discovery from every case now. Well, I reached out today to the county where Chad Doberman's case is to see if there was anything else that's been released that we haven't got. And they sent me the whole file, but I looked through it, and I'm pretty certain we've looked at all of it. I rounded it up. It was $5,000. Jesus. Crazy. I know, Little Red Riding Hood, and I appreciate that so much. I really, really do. I'm going to get Quentin Simons, and if and when available, that's the first case I covered on YouTube on Panel and Love Monkey. I cannot wait for that. As soon as her trial's over, it should be available. They won't give it to you during the trial. I thought about Lori Vallow's stuff, but since Chad's about to go to trial, I don't think that they would. But I mean, I remember watching Amber and Kelly go through the Chris Watts discovery. Before I even really had a channel, I might have done 1 or 2 lives. It's crazy to think about that. All right, here we go.
And I don't say that lightly. I've read the comments in some of the postings. She falls off the fence and then runs around a tree. It's just nuts. I know the clip is short. The comments in some of the postings, she falls off the fence and then runs around a tree. It's just nuts. I know the clip is short.
Who do you think you are, lady? I cannot wait for this freaking biddy to go to trial in 2 weeks. 2 weeks before you go to trial.
Unfortunately, was made as a
now you got new felony charges,
not as a lengthy post. So this is all we get. But you can see there's this crazy kind of runaround. It's nutty. But if you put all three of the videos together, you kind of get a little bit more of the feeling of what the chase was like. So we've strung all three of the videos together. I'm going to tell the control room to play that one, where all three of the videos, the one you saw today, the long one, and then there is the one across the parking lot. And then there's the going up the fence with the handcuffs and then struggling. This is the passenger
Oh my
backseat
God,
view,
you guys.
where she falls off the fence and then runs around the tree. Gives you
Hold
a
on.
little
I
bit
want you to see this better. So let me just make it a little bit bigger. Wish it would let me zoom.
But if you put all three of the videos together, you kind of get a little bit more of the feeling of what the chase was like.
Oh my
So we've
God,
strung
Flicker, I
all
didn't
three
know
of the
that.
videos together. I'm going to tell the control room to play that one, where all three of the
Here she
videos, the one
is.
you saw today, the long one, and then there is the one across the parking lot. And then there's the going up the fence with the handcuffs and then struggling. This is the passenger backseat view, where she falls off the fence and then runs around the tree. Gives you a little bit more
Oh
context.
my God Almighty. Number one, what a beautiful lady. And also the lady who she killed. They were smart, you know, beautiful. They had, with their whole futures ruined now, you know, because of a relationship. I don't understand that. If a man wants to take out another woman, the answer is the other woman is not even the bad guy at all. I wish women would stop doing that to each other. It's the man who is being dishonest and cheating on you. It's not the woman who doesn't know you at all. She don't know you shit. Ugh. I mean, Hey, Meg. Gabby Petito was my first actual case that drew me in more than I was already to true crime. I just don't understand that. I really don't. I hate the way that women do that to each other. No, find someone who doesn't cheat. You don't blame the person they cheated with, who doesn't even know you at all, may not even know that you're in a relationship, was probably lied to about it. But she took her life. She didn't even just blame her. She took her life.
For like how nutty this chase was.
Exactly.
Once again, block and a half? Dunno. 10 minutes? Dunno. That's the official word from the police. But what I can tell you is that the woman who shot the video and gave it to KXAN in Austin is Teresa Rangel. And our Nancy Liu, the intrepid reporter that she is, was able to track her down. And she joins me now live. First of all, I can't believe you found her and you got the extra videos too. So take me into this story and talking to Teresa Rangel. And she must have been thinking, is this real? Is this a movie being shot? Like, what was she thinking?
You're exactly right, Ashley. She just instinctively started videotaping, but she didn't even know what she was videotaping or who. Now, before we talked with Teresa, we also talked to the Travis County Sheriff's Department, who also stressed to us, yeah, it was only a block and a half. It was 10 minutes, and those transport officers never lost sight of her, and they were the ones to take Armstrong back in custody. But in speaking with Teresa Rangel exclusively, she's telling us that it's a pretty harrowing 10 minutes. Now, the Sheriff's Department is stressing 8:17 a.m., the escape, 8:27 a.m., Armstrong is back in custody, and 8:36 a.m., Armstrong is on her way back to the Travis County Correctional
And
Center.
I bet she felt like a whole entire fool, and she should have. Lady, you are an absolute idiot. That is ridiculous. You know what? How about don't murder people and you won't have to be in prison? And then, yeah, she's just a dumbass. Okay, you guys. So before we go, let me see. Little Gannon was my first step back into crime. I stopped watching this stuff after my child was murdered, but Gannon touched my heart deep. Oh, Little Red Riding Hood, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Exactly, Shell. It's not the car's fault either. before I let you guys go, I'm going to talk to you for just a second about what we're going to do in the next few days and some other things. So I told you guys at the beginning, the second channel is going to start doing this little series, and I'll post that on the community tab when I do. Also, tomorrow night, Amber, ATS News, is going to join me. We're going to go back to Watts Island and go through some of these new calls that have been released, which I am really excited about. I've listened to most of it. I'm going to go back through and listen again and just timestamp places for us to hear. It's from the channel Phone Calls from Prison. You guys know I love that channel. They do an awesome job. Also, after that, probably within the next day or two, while we're waiting on these next files, which should come anytime, I want to do the fundraiser where we go through, we're going to have something, I don't know, YouTube has a bunch of different like nonprofits that you can work with, and you can turn your super chat button into a fundraiser button. All the money goes straight to them. YouTube doesn't take a percentage. I want to do that with like this trial recap video. And then we're going to get into these new files and recordings, which I believe we're going to begin the first one on Jen Lou's channel. So yes, B-Crumbs, I'd be happy to do that. So anyways, I'm really looking forward to all of that, especially for tomorrow night. It's been a while since Amber's been on with me, and yeah, I'm excited for that. If you haven't seen her channel, please check it out. If you haven't seen Melissa Jade's live today, was so good. I really have been paying very little attention to Idaho or to the rumors around it, because I don't care about rumors and stuff. I want the real information from the court. But if it's Melissa or Amber, like I said earlier, Crime Sleuthin will put out little videos as well. I will tune in. And I was really happy that I did today, because Melissa went over. There's been a book release where Dylan's dad kind of speaks out about what Dylan's been through and what she's experienced. And it was, not too much, but it was still quite interesting. So if you missed that, I would check it out. Amber has a live tonight. I don't think that Jen's doing anything yet. The two Jens, of course, check out their channels. And yeah, my Nay with her melts. I'm going to do you in one of these review videos too, Nay. Foxy's channel, Punksy, I'm going to drop those links as well. And then, yeah, besides that, you guys, I think that's it. Lori, thank you guys for being here. Thank you to all the mods. I really do appreciate you guys. It always means the world to me when you take time out of your day to spend with me talking about this stuff. But it especially means the world to me when you take the time to talk about the cases that are not, the most popular or whatever, that you haven't heard about yet, that you don't have invested interest in. It really means the world to me. So thank you guys. But I want to, Nay. Madam on B Crumbs has been like crazy. All right, yeah, and it's Real Talk with Alex, the second channel. Let me go grab the link to that, because if we can, I might go on there tonight. I just don't know if I'll have the time, because I'm not going to go over Amber, or so maybe after, but usually I'm so tired by that time. It'll be soon, I promise. Copy. Here you go. There is the second channel. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Have a great night, and I will see you soon. Bye.